I think evolution definitely should be taught in schools. I think there's different ways to view evolution, but as everyone can probably agree upon, everything evolves. We evolve as communities that build ourselves from scratch, and Nevada's a good example of that, that we've evolved from a very small community to something much, much bigger and much more successful. So I think evolution can be taught in many different ways. It doesn't necessarily have to be about people and how people have evolved, but it can also be about communities as well.
I believe that evolution should be mentioned in school. The thing is, it's all about what you believe in, and it shouldn't be pushed on you, but again, you should be knowledgeable about it, I guess. Just different options, because growing up in a family, you learn to live off of those values and morals, and if you don't have other options to believe in, that's what you're going to go by for the rest of your life.
Exterminating the lives of people that we think are lesser than ourselves really Really? Does that have anything to do with Charles Darwin?
The eugenics movement was grounded in Darwinian biology, and it goes back to Darwin's Descent of Man, where he basically, people need to understand that in Darwinian evolution, how did human beings get to be who they are? It's through this vigorous process of natural selection or survival of the fittest. Nature methodically kills off the physically disabled, the mentally disabled, the sick, the poor, and again, so there are whole classes of people that if you were just in a state of nature, you'd be killed off by natural selection. According to Darwin, that's how human beings became the crown of creation, through this really blind, impersonal, bloody process of killing off the unfit in evolutionary terms. So, move us up to civilized society. Darwin was really frightened and sounded the alarm that civilized society does their best to maintain those people who would have been killed off in nature. And so, as Darwin writes about, we're inoculating people against smallpox, we're helping the poor, we're helping the mentally disabled, we're saving the sick. And all this has basically the conclusion of this is that, well, we're saving all these people who nature would kill off. And so if we kept doing this, according to Darwin, we were going to destroy the human race.
Fancy that. By the way, What Hath Darwin Wrought was shot in Stockton, California at an insane asylum. This is the monument to the morons and imbeciles, their words, that were not only housed, but sterilized there. That was the 20th century.
Yes, I do. I think it should be. I grew up Catholic, so that's a great question if evolution should be taught in schools. But I think it's important that you understand all perspectives before making up your own decision. And I did learn from my priest growing up that evolution does not go against the Catholic faith. And Pope John Paul II did accept the idea of evolution into your Catholic practice as well.
Eugenics, also known as social Darwinism, is a pseudoscience concerned with applying animal breeding practice to human beings. Seeking to create the perfect human, Nazi Germany paid some families to have children, while others were sterilized. Eventually, those considered undesirable were sent to extermination camps, including gypsies, gays, the mentally handicapped, and millions of Jews. During this same time period, Margaret Sanger was championing eugenics in the United States. She believed that birth control, sterilization, and abortion would eliminate disease, crime, and poverty. In 1921, Sanger said, "The most urgent problem today is how to limit and discourage the over-fertility of the mentally and physically defective." With these ideals at heart, Sanger founded Planned Parenthood. The unveiling of the Nazi death camps at the close of World War II forced a change in language. Eugenics became cloaked in terms like social responsibility and overpopulation crisis. And the final solution was moved from killing adults to aborting babies. More than 42 million abortions are performed globally every year. Planned Parenthood is the world's largest abortion provider, and members of minority populations are disproportionately targeted. Consider the race demographics in the United States. While rates of unplanned pregnancies are identical in each group, abortion rates are 5 times higher among non-white women. While social Darwinism is not solely responsible for the horrors of Auschwitz nor abortion, its emergence has allowed for some of the worst atrocities in human history.